Prophet Haggai. However, God did more than recognize their feelings. He firmly commanded the people to be courageous and complete the work he had given them. First, he addressed the governor, telling him to be strong. Then he directed Joshua, the high priest, to be strong. And finally, he urged the people to be strong. God repeated the call to be strong 3 times and assured them of his presence. He encouraged them to find strength in the Lord's presence, not their abilities. God reminded them of his past faithfulness, how he had delivered them from Egyptian bondage and guided them through the wilderness. He promised several blessings to support their work in the temple. The Lord would empower them by his Spirit, ensuring they need not fear. He also promised to provide abundantly for the temple's completion, as he owns all the wealth. God would shake nations and rulers to accomplish his purposes and supply all the resources needed for the temple's completion. For 70 years, the treasures of the temple that the Babylonians had stolen remained lost until God stirred the nations and raised Cyrus. God moved upon Cyrus to provide all the necessary resources for the people to return to Jerusalem safely and begin rebuilding the temple. Haggai delivered a powerful promise of peace to the people, emphasizing its certainty and authority. He preached his 3rd message on December 18th, in the 2nd year of King Darius's reign, a little over 2 months after his 2nd message. In this first message, Haggai charged the people to obey God, resume their work on the temple, and complete the project. 1 month later, in his 2nd message, God encouraged them by reassuring them of his presence and promised that the glory of the new temple would surpass that of Solomon's temple. God also challenged the people to finish the work. Despite this encouragement, the people faced another critical issue: holiness and defilement. Although God had addressed their discouragement, it was essential to remind them of the corrupting effect of sin. They needed to remember the devastating consequences of their past disobedience and realize that repeating these mistakes would hinder their efforts. If their hearts remained impure, the temple and their work would also be defiled. The Lord needed to teach the people an essential lesson in holiness. Haggai made it clear that his message was from the Lord Almighty, not his own. It was a message directly from God,